the four wise efforts. So wise effort is part of the Eightfold Path, right? It comes at the end, it's the last three: wise effort, wise mindfulness, wise samadhi. And I think, for a long time, I would hear this teaching on the four wise efforts. I don't know if you have heard it probably many times, and it just, yeah, yeah, okay, and it was there somewhere. That's cool. Okay, those are the four things that we're supposed to do. But when I would really think of this word wise effort, I had in me this just sense of how much energy am I bringing to any given meditation practice. That's really where my mind went with this teaching of wise effort. Am I striving? Am I too relaxed? That teaching of um, the Buddha when the playing the lute, like, are the strings too relaxed? Are they too tight? And that's what I would think of in the realm of wise effort. And that is part of the teaching of wise effort. But the teachings on the four wise efforts just give us this beautiful roadmap. I don't know what we call it. Just, yeah, roadmap, a conceptual framework for how to meet any moment, whether the moment is full of dukkha or whether the moment is full of beautiful qualities that are leading to the end of dukkha. This is like, wait, how am I meeting this moment? What am I doing with my practice? Oh, it's this. It's these four wise efforts. So I really am excited. I just get excited when talking about this. If you can't hear me, if I go too fast or talk too quiet again, please just chat me. I don't take it personally. Um, and yeah, we'll take some of this time, each of these 4 weeks that I'm here, to unpack this. So I will just name them now, and we'll see how far we get today. Probably not very far. The four wise efforts are preventing the arising of unwholesome states. And I don't know how you all feel about that word, unwholesome, but we can translate that to also unhelpful or any states that lead to dukkha. And so these will be the five hindrances, which also have their many second, third cousins and all of the different emotions that aren't helping. And these five hindrances are all rooted in greed, hatred, delusion, the craving, the aversion, the not understanding the truth of things. So how do we prevent, basically, how are we preventing greed, hatred, and delusion from arising? Okay. I could go down that road, but we'll circle back to it. I just want to say them as the four. So the first, preventing the unwholesome from arising. This is not easy. Have you noticed? It's not easy. This one takes a lot of chutzpah, takes a lot of awareness to be so aware that craving and aversion don't arise. The second is um, letting go of the unwholesome states when they have arisen. So if we missed the boat with the first one, we've got the second one here. And usually I think this is where we do wake up. When there is a strong aversion, a strong hatred, a strong fear, a strong longing, a wanting, something uncomfortable, doubt, inner critic. This is when we start waking up, usually. I know for myself. And ask what is happening right now. Um, but the first is possible. The first is possible. So the second, letting go of the unwholesome states when they have arisen, letting go of craving and aversion and ignorance when they have arisen. The third of the wise efforts is inviting in the wholesome states when they're not currently there. So inviting in what's beautiful, what's helpful, what's wholesome when it's not there. This takes a lot of effort to do. When we are in the grips of hatred, aversion, wanting, to open up to the possibility that there would be something to help us let go takes Herculean effort a lot of the time. To be in a state of hatred and stop and say, wait a minute, what are the causes and conditions arising for this other being? What's happening right now? That takes so much wise effort to do. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that? Just this weekend, have you noticed that? Or to be in a just even like a grumpy funk, right? Not maybe related to anything necessarily, just a grumpy funk. To pause and say, what else is true about this moment? Might there be something to appreciate? That's hard to do. The mind would rather stay often in the funk because it's familiar or we're just completely lost in it. To be able to open up and say, maybe there's something here that would be helpful. I don't know about you, but especially just in random funks, maybe in the funk of doing the dishes or whatever, it's hard to remember, wait a second, I'm alive. That won't always be true. Oh, right. This takes wise effort to invite in what is helpful, what is beautiful when it's not there. And we need to do this right now, especially right now, especially in this country. We need all the beautiful, helpful mind states and actions that we can possibly bring to the table right now. Yeah. The last of the fourth wise efforts is developing, strengthening, maintaining the beautiful states when they're there. And so maybe that's a no-brainer. Oh yeah, be there, be here with when things are easy, with when things are beautiful, with when things are helpful. But often the mind, the thinking mind just takes us away. So maybe there's gratitude, maybe there's metta here, maybe there's a moment of clarity, of wisdom here. The mind often will start making up, not making up, but telling a story about what's happening. And that can actually take us right out of the actual somatic experience of what's happening. I see this so much actually when I work with people one-on-one, and maybe they're describing like a moment of generosity or a moment of gratitude, some kind of opening that they had. And as they're describing it, I can feel it in my own body. Like, wow, there's wow. And then I'll notice, I'll sometimes say, like, let's pause for a moment. Let's explore what's here right now. In the inquiry of exploring what's here right now, so often that person's mind starts making all of these connections. So this means that, and that means that, and that remembers, and I remember this other time, and it's gone. That feeling that came, that I could see in their face, see in their whole body, it's gone because of the stories. So if we can, does that make sense? Yeah, we'll unpack each of these with more examples as the weeks go on. But it actually takes wise effort. It actually takes energy and awareness to know that there's something really helpful here, really meaningful or sacred or beautiful, and to not go looking for the next thing or not make up a story about it or make a lot of meaning out of it, to just actually be there and let it fill the whole body. And this actually is the path of cultivating samadhi. This fourth wise effort. I mean, all of these lead us to the path of cultivating samadhi, which is another way of saying a deep, deep, deep sense of well-being. Samadhi, a deep, deep sense of well-being when the mind and the heart and the body are here for it. And yeah, this deep, deep sense of samadhi that's cultivated when we're really aware of the well-being, the beauty that's present. This supports us back at the first wise effort of preventing unwholesome states from arising. And that's actually the purpose of the samadhi, is so that we can see clearly what's happening in the mind, so that we can be free. So as we can, what I love about these four wise efforts is this is about cultivating happiness. This is about freedom, which we could call happiness, which we could call, let's call it happiness. Yeah, maybe you have a word that feels more appropriate to you right now, but this is a path to happiness, to freedom and happiness. So I want to circle back to the first wise effort and then leave just a few minutes for any of your thoughts. How do we prevent an unwholesome state from arising? So today in the meditation, I wanted to work a little bit with Vedana, with the looking for the pleasant, the unpleasant, the neither. Neither, you can't say it's pleasant, you can't say it is unpleasant. That's what neutral means. This is the gold for preventing unwholesome states from arising. Because if we are not aware of a moment of unpleasant, the mind is just going to push it away. That is just the habit of mind. That is part of our deeply human conditioning. It's part of our survival brain. You know, this food doesn't taste good. Like, it tastes really bad. Yeah, don't eat it. Probably going to kill you, right? That's part of our how we survived. So these super fast reactions in the mind to the pleasant and unpleasant are keeping us alive. So thank you. And it's not life or death every moment that there's an unpleasant, that there's pleasant. And so just if we're not aware of these, right, we're just like being tossed about by these push and pull. If there's something pleasant and we're not aware of it, we are just going to want it. We are just going to want it. We're going to hold on to it. We're going to grasp it. That's also part of our survival, right? Ooh, this berry tastes good. Ooh, let me keep eating it. It'll keep me alive. We don't need to grasp and hold on to every single pleasant sensation. And so with Vedana, we just understand it's important to understand that we're not choosing the pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. It's an immediate response in the mind, an immediate reaction, we could say, to anything that's coming into our five senses and the sixth sense of the mind. It's based on a lifetime of associations, but it isn't anything that we have a choice over. It can change, they can change, but there's no one in there saying, I'll decide that this is pleasant, I'll decide that that's unpleasant. No, it's an immediate reaction, the pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. With awareness, we can bring wisdom, we can bring metta, and we can decide what is the best way to relate to this moment of unpleasant. Like, if we could even just take working with news right now. It's really challenging to just open the news and go unpleasant, 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 and let it just be unpleasant, right? And if we don't do that, I don't know about you, but if I don't do that, I can end up in a panic attack or a complete collapse of hopelessness or next level rage and hatred. None of which I think are going to be helpful to me or anyone else. But just to say, that's quite natural and quite human. Yeah, we see unpleasantness, really, really, really horrible, horrible unpleasantness. Of course, the mind is going to go to those places. Those are natural human responses of the mind. With awareness, if I can see that unpleasantness and let it in and be aware of it, I can invite in with this third wise effort what would be the most helpful way to relate to this moment of unpleasantness. Is it wisdom? Do I need to explore the different causes and conditions of why this is happening the way that's happening? Would that help? Is it a moment of self-compassion? Is it compassion for, there's infinite responses to the pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral that can be helpful to us.